Hello and welcome to the Michael Mamas Show. I'm your host, Michael Mamas, and we're coming to you from Mount Soma, home of the Sri Someshwara Temple, and now the Soma's Kitchen. We opened the restaurant. It's really nice too. Um, so we're excited about that. We're I kind of interrupted my own introduction there, but I don't think it matters. Okay. This is really interesting. The title, and we'll get back to the other in a minute, but the title of this podcast is Mastering Momentum. And well, there are a lot of things that went into it, but one thing that really struck me is, I channel surf to a number of different news stations trying to get different perspectives. And one of them, they had Donald Trump, President Trump, was doing the commencement address, the graduation address for the at the University of in Alabama, the Crimson Tide, and I didn't watch much of it, but I did see enough that I saw that he said to them one thing, and it was just so good. It was just, "You're a winner," and it really impacted me. That that's Trump's whole mindset. And isn't it? He talks about being a winner, but his whole mindset is he's a winner. And I think his point was, and I think it's very valid, is that that's important for everybody. You should really just take it as a motto, You're a winner. I'm a winner. And because you see, life is what it is. We hit obstacles, roadblocks, all sorts of challenges, hurdles, this and that. And we can adjust and move forward and do what we need to do. But never forget that you're a winner. And live that, feel it, come from that place. You're a winner. And in a very transcendental sense, it's the truth. We're all winners. Why? Because what we are at the depth of our being, which we have access to by the virtue of the fact that we have a human physiology, a human nervous system that's capable of accessing that level, and functioning from that level with great integration with the surface of life, you see. And that makes you a winner. And we just have to not forget that. We live that. And then on a very pragmatic level, you see, you're a winner. Things happen, but we move forward. Really, it's just that simple. If you start doing this, you'll live a longer and happier life. But let's take a look, though, at this principle of momentum. See, we have mindsets, we have habits, we have traditions or whatever, daily routines. All those things have a momentum to them. And we end up, are we living our momentum or is our momentum living us, And we do really well to just take a step back and look at the momentum of our life on the very short term and to the very long term. Where are we trying to go? Where are we headed? Where do we want to be in 10 years, 20 years? And one example that I think is a good illustration is your relationship with health, with exercise, with taking care of your health, which dealing with your health. Some people are on with a good momentum. They exercise regularly, what have you. Other people have a momentum going where they don't. They just don't exercise. They don't do anything. And so what's the art of shifting momentum, of aligning with a healthy momentum and letting go of momentums that aren't constructive or aren't healthy for us? And how do you make that shift? With respect to exercise, if you're not exercising, one way, and this depends on the individual, but one way that I think could really work if you're not at all active is sit on the floor. And if you can just sit on the floor for a few minutes, and if it gets uncomfortable, if your back starts bothering you or something, lie down on the floor. But just start and do that every day. What's going to happen if you do that every day is you're going to get bored with it pretty quick. And so you might do the thing, where you tuck your knees, you're on your back, you tuck your knees up to your chest, hang on to your knees, grab your knees, and just roll side to side. Something. And slowly that'll evolve. And then at some point, if you just lean, it's about leaning in a direction of better health, of getting exercise. In the beginning, if it's something as simple as sitting on the floor, it'll turn into something else. And one thing that's really great is go for a walk. And one thing is count your steps. Oh, and I even have it on right now. This is a little step counter. I guess you can't really see it, but they have them at Amazon. This thing is $15, and it just counts your steps. It's real simple to use, and it's fun. In fact, I have two of them. I have one that I put on as soon as I get up in the morning, and just wear it all day long. And it just zeros real easily, and then you count your steps for the day. And then I have another one now that I keep in my pocket. And it's fun because if I want to know how far it is from, if I walk from my home to the visitor center, push a button and walk, and then you see how far it is, how many steps it is. And you can create a goal for yourself. They say it's good to do at least 5,000 to 7,000 steps a day. And really good is 10,000. They say after 10,000 steps, it's good to do more, but you reach a point of diminishing returns. And so I've kind of, with this step counter, and all worked it out, how many times I have to walk down to the VC, then over to the union, then back up to the house. How many times I have to do that in a day to get 10,000 steps. It just becomes fun is the point. And this applies to everything. Monitor your momentum. I think our mentality has a momentum. Sometimes some people just tend to be negative. And the step one is monitor your momentum. Is that the kind of life you want to live? Because negativity creates negativity. It undermines your life and undermines your relationships. And the whole thing is so simple, really. If you just take a look at it, take a look at your life and make it. Usually it's not big, huge. If you try to make big, huge, dramatic changes, it's hard to have that last. But incrementally, little changes. One thing, there's so much on the internet, on YouTube, incredible PhDs and real scholars when it comes to functional fitness, health, exercise, supplements, all kinds of things. And let's see, one guy said, I liked this one. He said, increase your volume. So you start with just a little bit, just like sitting on the floor. And then you do a little more, just incrementally, a little bit each day, as it feels right. If it doesn't feel right, just sit on the floor every day for a week or whatever. But it's just, there's a natural progression to incrementally increase the volume. And the changes become significant quickly, So do that even with negativity. See, it's not about getting negative about your negativity. It's just a matter of being a witness to it and then just working with it. And things evolve, and it's the whole thing. It even involves your relationship with time, If you try to make things happen too fast, push too hard, whatever, it's not a good relationship with time. Things unfold as they will. Uh, I heard an expression I liked once. Someone said that things unfold not in man's time, but in God's time. I thought it was good. And all of this has to be founded on the understanding. It's an understanding. It's not taking on a belief system. It's just an understanding of the nature of life and existence. You are a winner. Work with it. Apply it to any field that you'd like. It applies everywhere. You're a winner in every regard, in every arena. Some arenas, that Warren Buffett, he said a very interesting thing about, Warren Buffett is that big investor. He's fifth wealthiest man in the world. And he did it by just being able to pick companies that he thought had potential and investing in them. He made billions and billions of dollars, hugely wealthy, 170 billion or something like that he's worth. But he really made a point that that's just what he happens to be good at. And he said, everybody's good at something. So how do you go about finding what, if you haven't already, how do you go about finding what it is you're good at? And it's a process. And it's not something you sit down and derive and figure out and say, okay, this is what I'm good at, unless you're really lucky, and that's pretty rare. But you put something out, see what comes back, adjust accordingly, try something else, go a different direction, modify it a little bit, what have you. In time, you find what you're good at. It's kind of like finding your voice in a way. In singing, I believe that every individual on the planet can sing really well. But they just haven't found their style. They haven't found how to use their voice in a manner that's consistent with the nature of their vocal physiology. It can take time. It takes a lifetime, even for great singers. They're still working with developing their voice. And you may choose not to put so much time into it. It may not be the thing that floats your boat. For me, doing what Warren Buffett did, it would be hugely painful and boring, just money, but understand that you have that within you. You're a winner. I thought it was a beautiful point, especially to make college graduation, because then what happens, see, whatever the momentums are in your life, you're on that roll. And so what you want to do is get on a roll that's healthy, that's constructive, that's fulfilling. It speaks to finding your voice. But you want to get on healthy rolls and get off the rolls that are unhealthy, be it diet. It's another one. And that it takes exploration, it takes reflection, and it becomes fun. It becomes fascinating. You witness the process. Even with diet, there's so many different ways to go. There's vegan, omnivore, ketogenic. I understand now there's even a carnivore diet. Find what works for you. Einstein also said, everyone is a genius. It's just finding the genius that you are, We opened the kitchen. I'm so thrilled with the kitchen now, because first it's beautiful. It's all stainless steel, everything. And even, there are a lot of inspections that go on before you actually get the license with the county. They're pretty strict. But the one inspector that I met with and talked with for a while, he would really compliment me. He said, "That's beautiful." He said, "You did a nice job. It's a beautiful kitchen, you know," and that's very fulfilling. But what really thrills me is also the team, the people we have. And I met with them all, and we just kind of just brainstormed, you know, what makes a great team, you know, mutual goals, mutual support, no negativity, positive attitude, mutually supportive, kindness, harmony, friendship, acknowledge your bad habits and work with them, as opposed to losing yourself to them, you know. And it's just not worth it. So much, and this is important to hear, so much of where we put our energy, be it negativity or just not constructive, not positive, it just drains your life, and it drains the lives of everyone around you. And with that kind of an attitude, it's really hard to find a healthy momentum. When your momentum is going in a negative direction, if that's kind of your attitude towards life and people, it's crippling. It really is crippling. So positive, always positive. When I was in the ashram, the monastery, that's one thing we used to say to each other, just kind of playfully, "Oh, positive, always positive," you know. So important, you know. And that is how you live a longer life and a healthier life and a happier life. You know, they distinguish between longevity and vibrant health for a long period of time, you know. And oh my goodness, the stuff that's coming out now, I really believe over the next 10, 20 years, and we can start now because the momentum is moving in that direction. But there's so much that you can do in the way of healthy supplements. Even they talk about omega-3 and how that can be life-changing. And now there's this derivative from pomegranates that's supposed to have major changes in the microbiome. The microbiome being, you know, the gut health, and how that transforms your health. Find healthy momentums, go with them, work with them, discover them, and work with letting go of the momentums, habits, but it's even more than habits, isn't it? The momentums of your life that aren't serving you. And come to Mount Soma and have lunch or dinner at Soma's Kitchen. We're really excited about it. Our head chef, her name is Varsha, is a great cook, and she cooked a meal, and people were just raving about it. I mean, it's really good food, you know. And the whole team is so good now. We have such a great team. Anything else, Scotty?
No, well, maybe you can talk about the mechanic of finding your genius. I don't know if there's anything you can speak to about that.
It has to do, see, you know, if you watch some of these, like America's Got Talent, for example, and people are singing, they have great voices, then you go to another YouTube video and it's these people and they're dancing and they're just such great dancers. And so many different things, so many different talents. And we can look at that one way and enjoy it. Wow, that's a great voice. But particularly, I think, through our adolescence, I think, we can turn that around on us and feel, you know, kind of bad about ourselves. Oh, I can't sing, I can't dance, I'm no good at this. And that's not how you find your genius, you know. Nobody's a genius at everything. And so step one is stop judging yourself for not being good at things that is just not the arena of your genius. And your genius has a lot to do with what you love, what your passion is. And it starts out as something very simple, usually, unless you're really lucky. But I remember I just wanted to know what was going on. I remember as a little kid watching my parents and people, and they're all so busy with their daily lives and stuff. But if you ask them, well, what's life about? What is it? Oh, it's all good, and oh, there's God, and then they go about their business, So you will be drawn to different things. For me, it was that question, and ever looking more and more in that direction to find deeper meaning, deeper truth. What's the reality of existence? That's why I majored in physics, and that's when I realized there was a momentum going there, and I was like, no, there's more to it, So I let go of that momentum, and I just pondered and thought. And I remember, see, nature responds. If you put something out, you'll find your way. Nature will show you where the openings are. And I remember I was telling some guy what I thought, and he said, oh, you should go just study with the Indian gurus. They know all about that stuff. And boom, my life changed and led to this. And so that's the thing. It's not about, okay, where's my genius? Let me figure out my genius. So much as seeing what you enjoy, seeing what intrigues you. I remember when I was in 6th grade, I started reading Emerson and Thoreau. I remember I was so thrilled when I found out they knew each other. I couldn't believe it, So that's the thing, little thing. Oh, I like reading this. I like looking into that. This fascinates me. It's not about, oh, I'm supposed to like this or I'm supposed to like that. I mean, there's a way we have to be responsible, because no matter what you do, there will be hard work. It will be demanding. It's not about taking the easy street every step of the way. But nevertheless, there's a deeper passion, a deeper appreciation. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, I really like this. And it's not about, oh, that guy really sings well. I really like that. It's more about you see. Is that responsive, Scotty?
Yeah.
Yeah. So important. So important. I really enjoy the kids when they come to Mount Soma with their families, and I like talking to the kids. And one of them, I say to them calmly, so for the little kids, I'll say, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? And for the kids in, high school, college, maybe, I say, well, what are you studying, And it's really interesting that even in their tone of voice, even at those young ages, you can tell, are they doing this because of their passion? Or are they doing this because they think they're supposed to be doing that, or because they'll make money? Or now for some kids, making money is their passion, but that's not usually it, Usually if you pursue what you love, then the money comes. But going after the money in a way that you're doing something you don't like, it's not that good, I think that's about it, Scotty, huh?
Sure. Yep.
All right. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. And come to Mount Soma. It's great right now. The team here is great. It's just happiness, I go from one building to the next, to the temple, to the student union, to the visitor center, to different offices in those buildings. And it's just joy, So come and enjoy Mount Soma. And thanks for listening.